Connie brought over this album when she came over for dinner. It's an album that she got from Aunt Beatrice in California. Don't do that. That's not fair. She got this from Aunt Beatrice. No, you don't. It has a lot of pictures of grandparents at all that we have never seen before. So we're going to show it to you now. It's really quite a collection. Lots of people in the family sent things off to Aunt B because she loved family pictures. So here we go. I don't know about that house. I don't believe it's grandfather's house on Jackson Street. So I'm going to presume it's one of their parents, but we'll let it go at that. Well, this is the first page of this book. People are here who I don't even, I've never even heard of. Of course, in the center, right here, is the center of the family as we see him nowadays. That's the good old grandfather, Dr. William Jepson. These are grandmother's parents, Terry Baker, about whom I know little, and Aunt Hattie, about whom I know nothing. And here's George and William Jepson, brothers, in 1885. He looks like Warner. These are unknown to me. William Walsh is the brother of Nellie Baker, who married Terry Baker, who were the parents of Beatrice, Florence, Stella, and Callie Baker. Stella is Aunt Stella that we know about recently. I'll come back to that later. This missing picture. Beatrice Baker. This is ready?
Yeah, I'm just leaving. Go on.
Oh, all right. This is Beatrice Baker and Florence Baker, sisters. You notice Florence looks like Barney. This is Beatrice at age 16. Now, when we say Beatrice, we're talking, I'm not sure whether these are, this is Aunt B and Aunt Florence, or whether they're Great Aunt B and Great Aunt Florence. I think it's the latter. And this is Beatrice Baker, who married William Jepson. With the funny looking eyes and hair.
1886.
In 1886. He was, I believe at that time he was very prominent, or shortly thereafter, because he was only 32 years old when he became professor of surgery at Iowa. And this is the famous home, which I do remember dearly. I used to play on the floor in the living room, and I used to eat bacon and eggs in the kitchen. And we visited often because it wasn't far from our house. This is 2000 Jackson Street, Sioux City, Iowa, where grandfather and Aunt B, Ganga Beatrice lived. This is 1886 and 1889, where everybody lived in this house in Sioux City, with the children of grandfather and Ganga. Here's when my father and my Uncle Roscoe were little boys. And this is where Aunt Florence and Beatrice were little girls. The great house at 2000 Jackson Street. Over here, the family gathering with Roscoe, Weir, Terry, Beatrice, Florence, and so forth. Okay. And here's grandfather again, and here's Ganga. Isn't she beautiful? And Beatrice, who recently passed away. More family pictures taken about the time when they were, this is in the 1880s and 1890s, just 100 years ago. Here's a group of them with Aunt Florence, Roscoe, my father, Weir, and Aunt B. And Aunt B, Ganga, and Ganga again, called Mother at that time. Mother, Beatrice, and Dewey, I guess, is the dog. Nice picture of Roscoe and grandfather, who in this album is referred to as Dad. Florence and Aunt B. Lovely, beautiful sisters who remained close all their life. Dad again. Florence and Beatrice and Mother. Another gorgeous dress. Roscoe and Aunt Florence and Aunt Beatrice, who in this picture looks quite like Connie. Roscoe, he was very handsome and dapper, particularly in this picture. Weir was not so bad looking either, but he didn't shine quite like Roscoe did. There's Aunt Beatrice again in 1918 in Sioux City, Iowa, and again in 1915. This is an intriguing picture, and I presume it's of Beatrice. Most of us have seen this picture before, and the accounts in the newspaper of grandfather's acceptance as the chairman of the Department of Surgery in Iowa. Much of this here describes how lucrative was his practice, and that was a testimonial in those days. My father, when he was in the cavalry, stationed in Texas. Grandfather was also there. Uncle Roscoe was in the Navy. As a surgeon, he later became a captain. This is Aunt Beatrice in 1922 and in 1937. Roscoe is really quite handsome in 1917 during the war. In the war, I don't know, or where he was stationed, as to say. And my dad, at the time of his marriage in 1924. And Mother, that is to say Ganga, also 1924. I recognize Ganga, but not the others. And is that Cuba?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this before. Blease Military Academy, where Dad and I think Roscoe went as lads. This is my father. Blease Military Academy. Grandfather sent him there to make a man of him. And I don't know really what they did to him, but he, as I recall, he liked Blease and he enjoyed his schooling there. This is the wedding picture of Mother, and right over here is Aunt Father, and right over here is Aunt Florence, and this is Lee Harker, Joe Harker, and I'll try and remember in more detail some of these ladies. Mother and Jean in 1925. Isn't she beautiful? Both of them. So beautiful in this picture, which was taken at 4415 Fremont on the south side of the house with all these daisies and cosmos that Mucky loved. This is Fremont Avenue is right here. This picture with Jean and Warner and I was taken in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. In, well, I'm going to guess that was, well, I don't really know. That was a house we had in Fountain Hill that had a lovely sun porch, and I guess we were all dressed up to go to the country club that afternoon. It's a nice picture of Connie, really nice. Notice her middle name is Baker there. This is a house on 4045 Bryant, which, as I understand it, was purchased by Dad. Maybe for Ganga, as far as I know. But then when our family, Dad and Mother, went back to Sioux City, it became Uncle Tommy and Aunt Florence's house, and the Briggs grew up in that house. And I remember it dearly because of the many visits most every summer from the age of 2 to 7 or what have you. Here's Connie with Jerry, and Connie with Tommy and Barney. And Barney and I were both rascals, and Connie was always a sweetheart. Here's Barney with the goat cart. We have a picture of Jean behind that same wonderful goat. Here's a beautiful picture of Connie. And there's Aunt Florence. In 1824, notice that Connie and Jean were born at the same time, the same year, a month apart, and Barney and I were also born a month apart in 1926, that is March and April. Beatrice and Florence are again together. Here's some nice pictures of Jerry and Tommy and Barney. And Jerry, who was a little rascal at that time. And here's a picture I remember of Connie and Jean. You see they were together in age. Must have been a great experience for the families to have their first 2 children almost simultaneously. We've go on now to another chapter. Here's handsome romantic Roscoe again. This is 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. 1926. I've never seen this. He got a scholarship award at the Naval Station. I'll have to look into that. And he married Gladys Wild, who was a beautiful woman whose father was a famous painter, Irving R. Wild. I believe this painting is in the National Gallery, or another one like it. There are several paintings where they were divorced early after they married, and she never remarried. Uncle Roscoe did. Here's Gladys Wild, and this is the painting, beautiful painting. That is, I'm sure that's the one that's in the National Gallery. They did not have children.